I was on a run and I was like praying to the universe, what am I supposed to do? Give me a sign. Tell me what I need to do. And a little bit later, I get a message from Palm Tree House saying, hey, a spot just opened up. Are you wanting to come for a little quick 3-day retreat? And to be honest with you, when I got that message, I was like, I can't do that. I have a million work tasks, things that I have to do, and I am so behind and I need to focus, blah, blah, blah. And I told Alex, and he was like, you should probably do that. That's probably a really, really good thing for you right now. As long as we keep listening to those little signs, those intuitive thoughts, feelings, when we got to do something, that's when we continue to grow. That's when we get to experience the life that is so much more beautiful than we could have ever imagined.
Hi, my name is Pernilla, and this is my Challenge Your Norm podcast. I'm absolutely obsessed with anything related to personal development. And well, to grow, we got to challenge our norm. And so on this podcast, we chat about life and how we can challenge our normal way of living it to make it greater than we could have ever imagined. Just one little belief, habit, bold move, and challenge at a time.
Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to another episode here on my Challenge Your Norm podcast, where today I'm coming to you from the Palm Tree House in Bali, which I was here with my mom on a retreat a year and a half ago. If you listen to one of my previous episodes, I share what came from that experience. And the crazy thing is that after having shared that episode and having created an Instagram post on it as well, they were like, oh, how long are you in Bali for? Do you want to come back? So they invited me back here. And 2 days ago, they were like, hey, so a space just opened up for a quick few day retreat. Would you like to come? And here comes my whole message that I am hoping to share with you in today's episode. Because at that time, I knew I needed something to get me out of whatever emotional state I was in. To give you a little context, when we were in Mexico a few months ago, I was told about the renters of my apartment making a lot of noise constantly, and that kind of stressed me out because I was the one who had rented it out to them, and it got so bad at a point I had to fly back to LA to fix that and really quickly find new renters, which there was one person living in there, and then I had to find another person to move in after that without being there, and now they're leaving soon, so I have to find another person unless I want to, pay the full rent. And my rent in LA is really expensive. It's like a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment, new, renovated. So it's not cheap. So that was like the beginner of me being like a little stressed out, which is like a minor thing. And it was easy. That's not even why I was feeling this way, but it's just to give you some context. Then we went to Scotland to see Alex's family, my boyfriend. And then we went to Denmark to see my family. And then we went to Bali and we were here for a little bit. And then my dad came because he was getting married. So we were with my family and his new wife's family that whole time. And for people who are extroverts or don't need a lot of time for themselves, that is obviously like a dream. But for me, I am a massive introvert, which I know is surprising to a lot of people, but what that really means is like you recharge by yourself. And in the midst of all of this travel, as well as all of these family gatherings constantly every day, obviously, when you're with family, it's like you have all these things that you do together. In the midst of that, I have a lot of goals and things that I'm really excited about building and work obligations that, just have to be done. Most of what I do is really fun, but some things, they just have to be done every single day. And in the midst of all that, have been happy, enjoyed myself, but also little by little lost myself. And looking back now, I can see that it feels like I was just overstimulated with too many things at once. And because I grew up being a people pleaser, when I'm around people, so it can be very hard for me if I'm in the morning doing my morning routine and someone asks me, hey, you should come join this. I don't want to say no because obviously I want to do it, but also I know with myself I need to prioritize that time. I did my morning routine every morning, but just like throughout the day, like I wanted to get certain work tasks done and then I didn't because someone asked me to do something. And of course I want to be with them and do the thing, but I also need to prioritize myself and my needs and the things that make me happy. And after journaling on it, I came up with a beautiful structure because my theme was if I prioritize only myself, I will feel bad for not prioritizing them. And I'll feel bad, conscious, and like a terrible family member. If I only prioritize them, I will feel like I'm completely letting go of my needs. I will let go of all the things that I want, which makes me feel anxious and not good inside, when you let go of all the things that you want to do and only focus on someone else. And so what I came up with, the easy solution, which when we're in the midst of a problem, it can feel like it's hard to get out of. But when we just sit and journal on it, it's like the easiest solution is usually just like right in front of us. And my solution is every morning from now on, when I'm doing anything family related, I just got to write down what are the most important things for me to get done for me today. And then for the rest of the day, I can make sure to be there for whoever wants to hang out and do things with me. So simple little realization I came to. It's funny how we can make things so hard in our head, or at least I can. But all that being said, I was feeling super stimulated, overstimulated. A lot of other things were going on as well that we don't need to go into details on. But just like heart-wise, and whenever something is going on heart-wise, it affects my, obviously, stress levels. So I was feeling, once we returned from having that experience with my dad and that week with the wedding, and my brother was here as well, I was feeling like so behind on so many work projects and just really craving some time for myself. Like, no other people around, not even my incredible sweet boyfriend. Like I just needed like to be left completely alone. But we live in like a loft, so we are around each other all the time, which he's amazing. And I just think I was overstimulated and I just needed like Pernilla, space, just me. And I was going on a run, and I didn't feel like going on a run. I've been working out every day like I always do, but I went on a run on a day where I didn't want to, which is very usual. Like sometimes I don't feel like it, and then I'll do it, and then afterwards I feel amazing. But I was like, just a little heads up, this is going to get woo-woo. I was on a run, and I was like praying to the universe, what am I supposed to do? Give me a sign. Tell me what I need to do. I was also having gut issues, which tend to affect my brain, so I'm sure that played a role as well. And a little bit later, I get a message from Palm Tree House saying, hey, a spot just opened up. Are you wanting to come for a little quick 3-day retreat? It's the package I wanted this time was detox, because I'm really focusing on healing my gut, which we're going on a next level healing gut journey right now. After speaking with Sophie Richards, that is the next episode, which is going to come out. She did the AIP diet for a while to just like completely reset her gut, and yeah, I will share more about that later. But for now, the Palm Tree House reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to do this 3-day retreat. And to be honest with you, when I got that message, I was like, I can't do that. I have a million work tasks, things that I have to do, and I'm so behind and I need to focus, blah, blah, blah. And I told Alex, and he was like, you should probably do that. That's probably a really, really good thing for you right now. And I remembered that I had asked the universe to help me, to give me what I needed in this moment. And every time I've asked for that, it's given me exactly what I needed. But it's always my will, my choice, whether or not I actually say yes, do the thing. And I decided to say yes, thank you, because it's amazing of them to offer me this free of charge. I'm documenting it for YouTube, my whole experience, because last time I was here, I had such a beautiful experience. And I said yes, but I was nervous. And the reason I was nervous is because I was holding on to the control. Whenever I'm very stressed, I tend to get very like this. If you're watching the video on YouTube or Spotify, I'm like holding my fist together. I tend to get very controlling with wanting to be in control of everything, right? And when you're on a retreat, they tell you what to eat, they tell you what to do and when to do it. And it's like, I knew that if I had to go on this detox, I would be drinking bone broth eating bone broth, drinking, and only coconut water, as much coconut water as I want, but that's it. And I knew because of the lack of calories, it would affect my mood, so I didn't know if I was going to be able to be as productive. And when I first came here, I still felt that stress of all the things I had to do and kept thinking. And little by little, for every single treatment and every single experience that I had here, which was a ton of different types of massages, I did a colonic for the first time, which is something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. I know it's a little TMI, but I have been dealing with constipation and what it feels like and what I've heard from like experts I've listened to or spoken with. It's like poop can get stuck in your digestive system and literally stay stuck there. And if you do these colonic treatments, it can slowly release. So I was excited for that. It was a good experience, but I have heard that because it's been for so many years that I've had constipation, I'm going to have to probably go back 4 times within a month. They recommended to like really get everything out of there. But the retreat were so sweet to allow me to go and do that. And through every single treatment and thing that I've done through this retreat, I've been able to let go more and more and more. It was still as if I had this block of stressor that I wanted to let go of. And last time I was at this retreat, I did the Bolognese healing retreat, which on that retreat, we ate the most incredible food, which I've been seeing the other people staying here do. And so at that retreat, because it was a Bolognese retreat, I had a healer and I had this gut intuition once again that I should get him. And this is something I would have to be priced extra for because it wasn't a part of the package that they offered me. So I yesterday was like, okay, so if there is a chance that this guy is available to come tonight, could I get a session with him? Because I wanted to ask him both about my gut issues and constipation, as well as have him, see if he could unblock all of these stressors. And in the middle of it, I'm always a little like, is this real or is this just some woo-woo, like some guy who's like trying to, make money? But I must say that today I feel like I'm back to myself. I feel like I have reconnected with the real Pernilla, who is able to dive deep into journaling. There's no blockaging from the stressors. And I feel clean in my body because of this detox. I feel like my body has really enjoyed this, like not stressing it. I haven't been working out other than yoga, which I must say yoga was a wake-up call for me because I haven't been doing yoga for so long. I used to do it every single day. And because I've just been focusing on weight training and running, I haven't been doing it. And I know that I need it in my life. Whether or not at this point I'm willing to prioritize it as a commitment, I'm not very certain of, but it was definitely a wake-up call of how unflexible I've gotten. I used to be dancer and I was so flexible. Now that I'm doing weight training, I've gotten so much less flexible. But it also did make me just question the way I am prioritizing my workouts right now, if I should be doing some things a little bit different. But that's like something I think I'm going to continue to reflect on a little bit. Me joining this retreat, I had a gut intuition feeling. I asked the universe to help me out with letting go of this stress and feel like I'm back to connecting to myself. I get this opportunity. And instead of listening to my fear and maybe more male brain that's like, but if you stay here, you're going to be able to finish all these work tasks and you're going to get that complete and that will release the stress. Instead of listening to that, what's the name for that part of the brain? The male brain is all I can think of. I listen to the other parts of my brain, as in I listened to my heart, which told me, you really need this right now. You need to release a few things that you've been holding on to for the last few months. And the fact that I did that means that now I feel so differently. And when we feel differently, when we feel at peace and at calm, everything flows and feels so much easier. Everything comes to us with ease. I was at a point where I wasn't even able to visualize, like truthfully, really. Yes, if I got deep into a meditation, I could, but I was like living in this surface level, not constantly, but a lot of the time. And me going on this retreat, listening to my heart over my brain, I fixed it in just 3 days. I don't know what it is that the universe has been trying to invite you towards. And when I say invite you towards, I mean little voices in your head saying, you should try this, signing up for this fitness center. I don't know. You should go try and do tennis. You should go on a breathwork workshop. You should go on this retreat. Like whatever little whispers have been coming to you or someone mentions or it just randomly keeps popping up, there may be a reason that you should listen to it. And yes, your male brain, I wish I remembered the name of what it's called, but we're just going to call it the main brain. The realistic side of you is thinking, no, because then I'll miss out on this, this, and this, which is like your normal habit patterns. But if you allow yourself to get uncomfortable, like I decided to do with this retreat, even though that sounds so weird for so many people, I'm sure it's like, how is it uncomfortable for you to go on a retreat? But for me, letting go of my control and my normal way of living and not working out and not eating the way I want to, like that's for me uncomfortable. That's scary to me. So because I did that, it shifted my life, because I know since like from the last retreat I did where I did the same thing, I eventually let go of all of that. Magical things came from that. And I don't know what's going to come from this retreat yet, right? But I do know that I feel a million times better. And I know that I'm going to return home to our Airbnb here in Bali today with just a ton of love for Alex and for myself and for everything that I do every day, the people who I share content with. I know I'm going to show up in a different way. And I wanted to complete this YouTube video before I entered this retreat, but I haven't been able to work on it either while being here. I've worked on other work tasks, but like smaller things, YouTube videos, it's like I have to go all in for a full day and like just sit down, fully go through it. But I know that the messaging in that YouTube video is probably going to be a little bit different because I feel different. I'm able to bring across a message in a different way. And we all are, right? When we feel good, we are just way better humans for everyone around us. I feel like there was something that I was about to share and then I stopped myself and I now forgot what that was. But this really was just meant to be a little podcast episode reminding you of listening to that intuition, going for the thing that is a little bit uncomfortable outside of your norm. This podcast is called Challenge Your Norm, so I try to live that myself, even though it sometimes is hard. And sometimes it means letting go on a retreat like this. That's challenging my norm in this situation because I'm on point with my workout routine, for example, like pushing myself every day. But sometimes challenging your norm, depending on the season in life, means this goal that I've been wanting to go for, this really tough goal that's going to feel so hard, I'm going to go for that. If that's what your intuition has been telling you, then that's what you got to do. As long as we keep listening to those little signs, those intuitive thoughts, feelings, when we got to do something, that's when we continue to grow. That's when we get to experience the life that is so much more beautiful than we could have ever imagined. Whether that be going for that new career, just starting small and slowly building it up. Sometimes it's getting out of relationship that no longer are serving you. Even though it's scary, it is necessary for your well-being. Sometimes it's as simple as forcing yourself to go on that hike because you know that nature and that movement is going to leave you feeling better after it than when you started, and potentially even get you to connect with some new perspective or realizations that you need in order to move forward in a good, positive state. Whatever it is that you got to challenge your norm with, whatever it is that your intuition is telling you got to do, listen to it because miracles are waiting for you. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast episode. I am doing a August transformation challenge where these are the conversations that we talk about. These are the topics that come up during our weekly calls, on top of you getting my workout program and my nutritional guide and 300 plus of my favorite recipes, my journaling challenge, which really helps you connect with these parts of yourself. And I also created a new planner, which is really exciting. That will also be a part of it, as well as our community, which is just the most beautiful community. The people that show up there inspire me like crazy, and we're all just so supportive. It's such an open space. It's like, even though we haven't met in person, we get to connect and open up to people who are all around the world in such a vulnerable, beautiful way. And I could not feel more grateful for them. Also, if you like this podcast episode and you think someone else would find it useful, it would mean the world to me if you would share it with them. And if you haven't yet, write a review. Thank you so much. I hope you go out there and do something that your intuition is telling you to do. And if you don't know what that is, ask the universe. Give me a sign. Maybe even ask for a sign. Be like, hey, universe, if I'm supposed to do this thing, let's say if I'm supposed to go on this retreat, I'm just giving that as an example, show me a red rose today. Just as an example, you choose your sign, you choose the thing, but ask the universe to give you a sign within the next 24 hours. Make sure to give a deadline and see what happens. And if you don't get a sign, that's a sign as well. But it's pretty powerful. Or just ask for it to come to you as I had asked, and this retreat showed up all of a sudden. Okay, I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for listening. And as always, remember that in order for you to grow, you have to challenge your norm. Bye.